to the stock system. Silver, which has a plus charge. Cadmium, which has a 2+ charge. And zinc, which has a 2+ charge. So cadmium is 2+ over here. Okay, now that I have my ions, I can crisscross them. So I got Cd2+ and I got AsO4 3-. Let's crisscross. Okay, Cd, AsO4. I always like to rewrite them without the charges. Okay, take the number and pass it over to the other guy. I'm not doing that. No. I'm not doing this. No, that's wrong. You just changed the compound. Okay, what I am doing is I'm saying that I have 2 arsenates. Okay, so in parentheses, that tells you how much I have. So, right, if I have oxygen, right, O2, I have 2 oxygens. Right, it's kind of the same thing. But with a compound like this that has multiple atoms, right, like, for example, this one, if I have 2 of them, I have to put it in parentheses. Okay, the other piece is the 3, and that goes to cadmium. So therefore, my final answer is Cd3AsO4 2. Okay, let's do ammonium sulfate. Ammonium sulfate. Well, I know ammonium and sulfate sound familiar to me because I know them. They're polyatomics. Ammonium is NH4+, and sulfate is SO4 2-. You have to remember that. Once you remember that, you can crisscross the charges. Keep in mind that polyatomics act as a unit. They act as a unit, right? So this is one thing. This is one thing. I don't want you thinking that you have to distribute the 2 over here and then the 2 over here. So I got 2. I got N2, H8. No, you're not doing that. That's stupid. Okay, so what you are going to do, though, is you're going to treat it as a unit, right? So what happens is, sorry, where's my minus sign? Okay, never mind. What happens is, if this is 1 unit and this is 1 unit and I'm crossing the charges, you put it in parentheses. Okay, so watch this. I'm going to put these guys up here. I'm going to rewrite the formulas, NH4 and SO4. How many sulfates am I going to have? Well, there's an invisible one here, so I have 1 sulfate. Okay, there's a 2 here. Crisscrossing my charges, I have 2 ammoniums. So I have NH4 in parentheses, 2. And then SO4, you don't put the 1. You don't put anytime you have like a parentheses 1, like that doesn't exist. You don't do that. It's just no parentheses, no 1. So SO4 is the correct answer. So NH4, 2, SO4 is the correct answer here. Okay, in the last section, I have my transition metals. So it's asking for us to write the formula or name for the compounds below using both the common and stock system. Okay, for the first section right here, it says formula or stock. So if it gives me the formula, I'm going to have to write the stock, obviously. If it gives me the stock, I'm going to have to write the formula, obviously. The stock system uses Roman numerals. Again, there are 3 elements that don't use Roman numerals that are transition metals. They are, where'd they go? Did I erase them? I think I erased them. Oh no, here they are. 3 exceptions. Silver, cadmium, zinc. They don't use the stock system, even though they're transition metals, because they form only 1 ion. The stock system is used for transition metals that form more than 1 ion. Okay, so let's take a look. I'm given FeCl3. That's a formula. Therefore, I'm going to have to find the stock system name. So I'm going to come over here for some space and write out FeCl3. Okay, well, the first thing I want to do, well, a stock system name is just the names of the elements with the Roman numerals. So I need to find that. Well, let me just identify the elements first. Obviously, Fe is iron, and obviously Cl is chlorine. But I don't write chlorine. Why don't I write chlorine? This is an ionic compound. The ending changes to "-ide". Okay? As it changes to "-ide", I now have to make sure that my Roman numerals is correct. Okay, I have to make sure my Roman numeral is correct. So, How do I find the Roman numeral when I'm not given that? When I'm not given the charge of iron? I need the periodic table to find the charge, but there's no charges for the transition metals. I need the Roman numeral, but I need to put the Roman numeral in my answer. So how do I even get this? Okay, let's start back over here. If I were to give you this, Ba2 plus and Cl minus, how would you find the formula? Cross the charges. Cross the charges, right? So this has 2, this has 1. My answer is BaCl2. So just like I crossed the charges to get these subscripts, I can also uncross the charges to get, or uncross the subscripts to get the charges. So look at this. I have 3. I'm going to uncross it and put a 3 here. There's a 1 here. We don't really write it. We uncross it, put a 1 here. We know that already in ionic compounds, what comes first? Cation and then anion. So that's first, that's second, right? For example, CaCl2, this is the cation, and then this is the anion. Okay, so the cation is always positive. The first one is always positive. Therefore, my charge of iron is 3 plus and Cl is minus. Okay, so if iron's charge is 3 plus, right? Iron is 3 plus. Therefore, what is my Roman numeral in the parentheses? 3. Therefore, my final answer is iron 3 chloride. Okay, next. Common system name. This is where you're going to use cupric, cupris, right? Or ferric, ferrous, etc. Okay, that's in the table that's found on your PowerPoint. Okay, so the common system name is going to take the prefix of iron, which you guys should know by now, is ferrous, or fair. Okay, and I'm going to take the charge, 3 plus. So remember, iron forms 2 charges, 2 plus and 3 plus. The lowest charge has an us ending, and the highest charge has an ic ending. Well, we're using 3 plus here, so 3 plus is going to have ic ending. Therefore, it's ferric, as for iron. Okay, and then this part right here, chloride, you just add it to the end, and there you go, I'm done. Okay, all of this can be found in the PowerPoint on slide number, and I'll pull it up for you right now, slide number 24. Okay, so here's an example from each one, from each section. If you have any questions, please let me know. Don't hesitate to ask. Thank you.